Hi, I'm Caroline, and today I wanted to create 3 Easter projects using materials that I already have around the house. I will be working on an Easter wreath, a wall hanger, and an open box decor. This video inspires you enough to even try making your own Easter decoration.
For this project you will need some polystyrene Easter shapes. I'm using some small bunnies and Easter eggs. I like to give them a coat of white chalk paint before I start working on them. I do this to smoothen the uneven surface. The napkin has to have small images of flowers, birds, or any design that you wish. For this technique, it's best to remove the top ply immediately and then start ripping off the patterns that you will be using. Here I have flowers and butterflies. Once I have quite a few ready, I go to the next step. You have to be careful not to breathe heavily over the paper shapes because they fly off. Using Mod Podge or any decoupage glue, we start sticking down the paper napkin onto the polystyrene shapes. Choosing small patterns for small areas and the larger patterns for the larger areas. I'd love to know, do you love decorating for Easter as well? For me, decorating for Easter is like an introduction to the lovely spring colours. I keep doing this process till I have all the polystyrene shapes complete. When all the shapes are done, I leave them to dry and we go to the next step. I had this white wreath from a previous project and I gathered all the materials I need, the ribbons, the flowers, so I can start working on the wreath. Position the greenery around the wreath. I use a hot glue gun to keep them in place. You have to hold it down a while till it sticks because it can be heavy, and for the very thick parts I even use a zip tie to keep it in place. I'm not worried that this will show because I will be putting a ribbon to cover it. Keep working the greenery around the wreath, and in between the greenery I will be sticking down the polystyrene shapes. Since the shapes are covered with the napkin, when I put the hot glue gun, nothing happens to the polystyrene. Once I have all the polystyrene shapes stuck down, I keep adding greenery around and I add the bow at the bottom. I also added some pom-poms in the middle of the bow. I continued adding more greenery till I was happy, and then to add an extra touch in between the greenery and the white spaces, I stuck on some feathers. As much as possible, I like to do my own decorations, and I am very happy with this result. For the next project, you can use any type of wood board. I start by applying a border of green paint around the wood. This is an ordinary piece of white paper. I am ripping around the paper and fitting it onto the board, leaving the green frame showing. I want the effect of the rough edges on the board. I use an all-purpose glue to stick the paper onto the wood. I found an Easter napkin with a bunny, a cute bunny, and I remove the top ply and stick it down with Mod Podge onto the white paper. When it's all dry, the creases that you can see on the white paper will disappear. Once fully dry, I use a craft knife to cut off the extra paper in between the slatted piece of wood. Using the nape file to neaten off the edges. For a final touch, I glue on some flowers. And of course, a small bow for the bunny. I also went ahead and made a large bow to fill in the space above the bunny. This will make a lovely addition to my Easter decor on my mantelpiece. For the third project, I will be using this wooden box without a lid, which I've had lying around, and I decided to create something for Easter. I painted around with an orange color. It needed about 3 coats. Whilst that was drying, I had this wide ribbon and I stenciled Happy Easter with black acrylic using letter stencils. When I finished stenciling the word happy, I had to stencil the Easter. As a tip, I always start with the end letter from the end part of the ribbon and work backwards. In this way, I can be sure that the word is going to fit well. To stick down the ribbon onto the wood, I didn't want to use a liquid glue because the ribbon is very thin and it would have stained it. I am using a double-sided tape. I created this project mainly because I wanted to make use of this bunny, which was given to me by a dear friend of mine who sadly passed away last year. From this point on, the project got easier and I just started putting all the Easter bits and bobs that I had in my stash from previous projects into the box to give it that Easter feel. You can even do this as an Easter gift to somebody, filling it with real chocolate eggs. Let me know in the comments section below if this video inspired you in one way or another to start making your own Easter decorations. I will see you all on my next video. Bye bye!